This presentation will go through best practices on writing a letter of recommendation. The Career Design Center has several resources to support faculty and staff. We are continuing to evolve and grow those resources. So if you have any questions or would like to request information on a topic, please feel free to reach out to the career design specialist assigned to your college. A few examples of our resources are having a career design specialist, an alumni or employer visit your classroom to give a presentation on a topic of your choice, content that you can embed into your courses, and a Career Champions program where you can stay up to date on new and existing resources we offer students and faculty and staff. So let's jump into the topic of letters of recommendation. A letter of recommendation is a formal document that discusses a person's suitability for a particular role or academic program. Though similar, recommendation letters differ from that of standard references in that references are often communicated casually through phone or email. A recommendation letter is usually about half of a page to a page in length and positively details your interactions with that student. Before you commit to writing a letter of recommendation, there are a few things to consider and ask yourself. What experience do you have interacting with the student? If it was in a classroom, how were they as a student? If it was in a work setting, what projects did they work on under your supervision? What were your interactions and experiences like with the student? Do you know relevant skills or strengths of the student that you could highlight and explain? Do you have specific examples you could include? And finally, can you provide a positive letter? If you do not feel like you can provide a strong letter of recommendation or do not know the student well enough, it is okay to turn down a recommendation request. Recommendations are meant to individualize the student by speaking to their unique skills and qualities. Be honest with the student so that they can find a better option. You'll want to do so in a timely manner so the student has plenty of time to find the alternative option. We'll go over how to kindly decline in a few more slides in more detail. When a student has requested a letter of recommendation from you, it is helpful to have some materials from them so you can have great context before you write. Typically, a student can and should send you an updated resume, the job description, or academic program information, and also if they want you to highlight anything in particular, such as specific skills, strengths, qualities, etc. These materials will help you write a stronger letter, and you can use the resume to understand their experiences and achievements more completely. It is helpful for you to review the job description or program information as well to understand what a strong candidate looks like. Use that information to guide what you should write about and even pulling from their resume and your personal experiences with them. Lastly, ask for a deadline so you can provide them with a letter in a timely manner. Let's go over what elements to include in the letter. First, a brief introduction stating who you are, your relationship to the applicant, and your personal experience or expertise. This can include information such as how long you have known them for and how you became acquainted. This part can provide credibility to the relationship. Second is an overview of the applicant's strengths as you've experienced them and as they relate to the recipient. What strengths help make this student the best candidate? You can even think about things that wouldn't show up on a resume necessarily. Help the reader to know the person you are recommending. Third is a personal story that elaborates on one or two traits that the applicant possesses. Recommendations are valuable because they give the reader a chance to learn about the student beyond their test scores and achievements. Recalling specific times when the student excelled in a particular role or class helps the reader get a closer understanding of them. Fourth is a closing statement that summarizes why the student you're recommending would be a good fit for the opportunity. And lastly is a signature that includes your name and contact information. Through the letter, it is important to be specific and positive. You want to demonstrate honest enthusiasm and avoid anything that could come across as negative. Also avoid vague wording and phrases. Your goal is to make the student stand out from the crowd. Avoid cliches and describe the student's traits and abilities through thoughtful examples and personal anecdotes. And also, take the specific job or school into account. If a student is hoping to attend a school that specializes in engineering, focus on skills that relate to that discipline. If they have specific requests for the recommender to include, be sure to do so. Along with that, follow instructions from the job description or the academic program on how to submit the letter. Whether you need to submit it through the student or through an online portal, etc. If your letter makes a good impression, that will definitely help the student you're endorsing. In regards to formatting, it is great to use a formal letterhead. Check if your department or college has their own letterhead. If not, here is a QR code for a general Utah State University one that UMAC can help you with. You'll want to keep the letter formal and concise. Use a 12-point font size in either Arial or Times New Roman. The recipient likely reads dozens, if not hundreds of letters, so you'll want to keep yours concise and to the point. Aim for at least 1 page, but no more than 2 pages. As a reminder, be sure to ask the student about any specific guidelines or instructions. In general, a letter of recommendation can be broken down into the following sections: the date, the recipient information, the greeting, the content that we discussed on the previous slide, the closing, and then your contact information and signature. If you do not feel you can provide a strong letter of recommendation or do not know the student well enough, it is okay to turn down a recommendation request. Let them know in a timely manner and write them a brief email in a professional, kind tone. Give them the reason and offer to help in other methods if you feel you can do so. This can be methods such as mock interview help or connecting them to someone else that might be able to provide a stronger letter. Lastly, show gratitude for the request. The right side of the screen shows a list of sample phrases you can use as you write this email. Thank you for listening to this presentation on letters of recommendation. Please feel free to reach out to the Career Design Center with any questions or requests. As a reminder, you have a career design specialist assigned to your college that you can work with. We also have a list of resources for you that we are continuing to evolve and grow on our website. Thanks again.